Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something incredibly important, but honestly, almost entirely unspoken in the online business world. We're going to break down the quiet, unglamorous truth about why most passive income streams fail. And here's a little secret that nobody in the passive income space is ever going to readily admit to you. Most of the people you see succeeding today, they failed first. Not just once, not twice, multiple times, in a bunch of different directions, with real money on the line, real time invested, and, a literal graveyard of abandoned domain names to prove it. So if that's the reality, why do we never hear about this? Why do most passive income ideas silently fail? If you've ever tried to build one of these streams and just watched it completely fizzle out, you are probably asking yourself this exact question. You might even think it was your fault. But the experts out there, they don't hide their past failures because they're being dishonest. They hide it because failure in the passive income world simply does not look like what you think it looks like. See, we kind of expect failure to announce itself, right? Like a dramatic, sudden crash where we can point to it and definitively say, yep, that is exactly where it all went wrong. But the reality is so much grittier than that. It comes quietly. It comes slowly. It's an idea that just never quite worked. A stream that dried up before it ever really flowed. A plan that made perfect logical sense on paper, but produced absolutely nothing in reality. Let me take you back to a moment you might actually recognize. You discover passive income, and something just clicks. You think, I can do this. So you pick an idea. Maybe you spend a few $100 on a ring light for a new YouTube channel, or you dive headfirst into writing a blog. You work hard. You put in hours you didn't even know you had. You learn all these things you never knew before. And then 3 months later, nothing. Or maybe even worse, just enough of something to keep you going right up until the exact moment you realize you aren't almost there at all. If this sounds familiar, I want to assure you right now, this is not bad luck. This is absolutely not a lack of talent. This is a highly predictable pattern. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly it maps out the enthusiasm trap. Day one brings that rush of discovery. You find the idea, excitement hits, it feels like actual momentum. Week 2, you're taking action, setting things up. The work feels meaningful just because it's new. But then month 3 hits, the plateau. The shiny new feeling wears off, results aren't matching the immense effort, the emotional reward vanishes. So what happens? Month 4 brings the exit. You quit, you pivot, you tell yourself it was just the wrong idea, and bam, the cycle rapidly starts all over again with something new. And here's the really devastating truth about that timeline. Most people, they just repeat this exact cycle their entire lives. They spend years jumping from idea to idea, always trapped in the discovery or the action phases, but never pushing through that emotionless plateau. But the other side of that plateau, that is exactly where passive income actually lives. All right, so we know how frustrating this feels, but now it's time to get practical. Understanding exactly why these ideas fail is the single most important thing you can learn before you build your next one. We are going to logically dismantle these common execution errors because, as you'll see, it is literally never just one thing. Let's break down the 5 specific reasons your past ideas likely failed. Reason number 1, choosing the wrong vehicle for your specific situation. Look, there are dozens of passive income streams out there, but not every stream works for every person at every stage of life. Dividend investing requires capital. Rental income needs a down payment. Content creation, that demands time and consistency. Digital products require an existing audience. Choosing a stream without matching it to your current resources, well, it's like trying to drive a car with no fuel. The car is perfectly fine. The idea is perfectly fine. You just picked the wrong moment to try and drive it. Moving on to reason 2. Underestimating the active phase. Every single passive income stream starts with an active phase, a period of intense upfront work before anything becomes passive. Intellectually, I think most people know this, but emotionally, they don't feel it until they are right in the thick of it. And when the work is incredibly real, but the results remain completely invisible, people falsely decide the idea itself must be wrong. The idea isn't wrong, they just didn't respect the active phase enough to push through it. Then we have reason 3, which is spreading yourself way too thin. Having 5 income streams sounds amazing, doesn't it? It sounds diversified and smart. But 5 streams at 20% effort each is absolutely not the same as 1 stream at 100% effort. In the beginning, focus is everything. the people who actually build passive income successfully almost always do one thing completely before they ever add anything else. Reason 4, measuring way too early. Imagine planting a seed, right? And then digging it up every 3 days just to check if it's growing. That is exactly what most people do with passive income. They measure their results in weeks for projects where results only reveal themselves in years. And when those weekly measurements show absolutely nothing, they confidently conclude that the seed is dead. The seed isn't dead, you just keep digging it up. So the crucial point is reason 5. And honestly, this might be the most important one of the whole bunch. Sustainable passive income streams are built on a solid foundation of genuine value, something that actually helps people, something that solves a real problem and makes someone's life better. Streams that are built purely for money with no actual value underneath always collapse. Why? Because money follows value, it does not lead it. Build the value first and the money becomes a consequence. Let's just take a quick pause here for a second. I want you to actively reflect on your own past attempts. Look back at the 5 reasons we just covered: the wrong vehicle, underestimating the active phase, spreading yourself too thin, measuring too early, or building for money instead of value. Which one of these hit closest to home for you? Acknowledging the trap is the very first step to avoiding it next time. All right, now we need to make a fundamental mindset shift. This is the overarching insight that ties this whole explainer together. Passive income does not fail because the ideas are bad. Let me repeat that. The ideas are almost never the problem. The failure actually comes from a deep misunderstanding of what building passive income requires from you mentally. Passive income usually fails because people treat it like a destination instead of a construction project. A destination is just somewhere you arrive, right? You're either there or you aren't. But a construction project is something you build brick by brick, day by day, with immense patience. The people who succeed aren't the ones with the best ideas. They're the ones who showed up to the construction site every single day, even when it rained, even when absolutely nothing looked like progress. They knew they weren't wasting their time, they were building. Okay, let's dive into this execution strategy for your next attempt. It's rapid fire, so stay with me. Pick one stream. Make sure it actually matches the resources you have right now. Commit to building it for at least 12 months before you even think about passing judgment. In those early days, only measure the value you're creating, not the money you're making. And above all, protect your focus like it is the most valuable asset you own. Because for sure, it truly is. Because look, 10 years from now, the passive income landscape is going to look completely different. There will be new platforms, crazy new opportunities, entirely new ways to build streams that don't even exist today. But one thing will absolutely not change. The reason most ideas failed then will be exactly the same as it is today. Not because the platforms changed and not because the ideas were wrong. Failure will always come down to stopping before the building is finished. Execution is the one thing that is entirely within your control.
So don't be the person who abandons the construction site right before the foundation sets. As we've seen throughout this explainer, the path isn't a mystery. It's just quiet, it's slow, and it's demanding. Your idea is probably fine. The only question left is this: will you stay long enough to find out?